What's up, everybody? This is Chris with Texas Nerdy Fitness. This is my first video ever on social media, and it's going to be mostly just an introductory video to kind of go over what I want to do with this channel. The biggest thing is there's a lot of BS out there in the fitness industry and the health community, and I kind of want to get into the more science-based things, put some real information out there that will actually help you guys. And it actually takes way less to get started on your fitness and health journey than you think. So this is going to be really open to people, very easy access. I'm also going to give you guys a lot of other social media workers that social media presence that also give you great information. I'm going to have guests and friends of mine. Hopefully, it goes down to even more popular people to be able to get other people on this channel to be able to talk about like mentality, like what it takes to be an athlete. I have a buddy of mine that's already probably next week we're going to start doing. He's an ultra marathon runner, so getting into that mindset to be able to commit to those types of races. But the main thing I want to get into is a couple of comments that I got on Facebook from just friends that I posted a couple weeks ago. I'm just going to do this pretty fast and loose. This is just an introductory video to be able to get you guys acclimated to my channel. And here we go. So let's see. I got them pulled up already here. So my first question is meal frequency. So meal frequency is actually not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. There is no anabolic window. Okay. It's not a big thing. You don't need to eat your protein, your aminos, your creatine. None of that stuff needs to come right after or before your workout. It is not a big issue. Okay. The actual like anabolic window is actually more like 6 hours, not 45 minutes, not an hour, not 2 hours. Okay. It's like 4 to 6 hours. So if you do your workout in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever you do it, and then you go home, you take a shower, you take care of the kids, whatever you need to do, you still have plenty of time. Even if you need to cook your food, you still have plenty of time to be able to cook your food, have your food. Now, you do want to replenish your body, which your body is going to be starving for carbs and protein, mostly protein to be able to build that muscle synthesis. Okay. It needs that fuel, those amino acids, to be able to build muscle protein. Now, when I say amino acids, there are all the full breakdown of amino acids are in your protein. It's in meat. So you don't have to have aminos. Now, protein shakes also have a full blend of amino acids as well. So you still, again, don't need BCAAs. Okay. You don't need EAAs, none of that stuff. It like if you like Kool-Aid and you want the extra aminos, great. If it gets you to drink more water, great. But you really don't need it. It's not a big issue unless you're actually an athlete. If you're an athlete, then especially for a high class bodybuilder, then you might want carbs building your blood. It becomes way more nuanced at that point. But I want to read some more of a general audience, so let's not really get into that. That gets way more complicated. So let's talk about the next one. Next one is health and fitness for competitive athletes on both an on and off season. So actually, that goes right into what I was about to say. So let's get into the average athlete, somebody who does like martial arts. I'm a martial arts guy. Okay. I'm also, I like to do like bodybuilding style workouts. Okay. But I do like to change it up. I like to do all different types of workouts. But I do martial arts. I am a martial arts teacher. That is my main job during the day. And, also, a lot of my friends are martial artists. And as far as on and off season, what you want to do is you want to train really hard. Okay. You want to put the hours in and be able to really hone your craft. That's the first thing, obviously. And then you want to supplement it, especially for like martial artists and stuff like that, or like whatever you're doing. Like if you're an ultra marathon runner, like my buddy that I'm going to have on the podcast here pretty soon, you need to put in the effort. You need to put in the training, like the especially the situation that you're going to be in. You want to put yourself in stressors of that situation, and then of course supplement it with extra training, especially weight training, cardio training. For jujitsu, you're going to do a lot of pulling movements. So you want to do a lot of things with your back. You also want to be able to, you want to have your lat strong so that you can lock in. Also be able to pull people off of you. You really want to do more of your hamstrings too. And really your posterior chain, a lot of people like really ignore because everyone wants, chest, biceps. They want quads. They want things that can be seen in the mirror. But really a lot of those sports is going to be most of your posterior chain. And as far as eating, I mean, I guess if you're doing MMA or if you're doing jiu-jitsu and you're doing weight classes, see, I do taekwondo. Taekwondo doesn't have weight classes by age and by height and by rank, so it goes by skill level. But as far as like things like jiu-jitsu, let's just go for that since I'm a martial artist guy anyway, is you want to basically you want a carb load. You want a lot of carbs because you're wrestling for a long time. It takes a lot of energy. You want to be able to have a lot of carbs for your sport. Okay. And of course, you want protein to be able to increase any muscle mass. And of course, you want to do weightlifting to increase your strength. Now, as far as that goes, you want to have, higher rep ranges, be able to do be able to do more endurance work. You definitely want to work on your cardio because you're going to be rolling for a really long time. And then also on top of that, you want to be doing um, lots and lots of protein for any sort of muscle breakdown that you have. And then, of course, as you taper on, you want to cut the carbs lower and lower so you'll be able to get thinner. You want to be able to maybe do a sweatsuit a couple days before then. You want to make sure that you're at your weight class, of course, to be able to weigh in. And of course, these guys that are doing these sports anyway, this is not for the layman. They have dietitians, they have nutrition coaches, so they're going to get all of that for them anyway. So for a regular guy, this is just extra information for you to know. That they're going to be getting into if you have a significant other or a friend who does those kind of things. So I have next one is what I always want to ask about is supplements. What do you really need? And fasting, etc. I won't get into fasting's going to be a little bit more complicated. I'll probably do that one later. As far as supplements go, all you really need is if you can't get your protein in because one, meat is expensive. It just is. I mean, you could eat chicken all the time. That's going to get really boring. But that's the thing is like after a while, like if you can't afford it, protein shakes. And really what you want to look at for protein shakes is a couple things. Anytime that you ever get any supplements, you want to make sure, which is not always on the bottle. If you have a protein shake and it says there's a stamp on the bottle that says CGMP, which means certified by GMP, which means it has good production practices, which means that they are third-party tested. They test them for heavy metals. They test them for any sort of like filling or stuffing, like anything that these supplement studies, companies get sued over. That's what they get tested for. So you want to find that seal. Now the seal's not always on the bottle or on the box. So sometimes what you have to do is you have to look up their website, and sometimes it's a little hidden. It might be in the bios, it might be like in the about, like way at the bottom. You kind of have to look for it, but you want to look for certified GMP, okay, or CGMP. You want to see that stamp. That's really going to keep you with supplements that are 100% that are 100% tested, okay, and protein and creatine. Creatine monohydrate has been the most studied supplement ever. Okay, it completely works. It increases your muscle size by it going into. It actually expands the water cells and the water. It absorbs water into the muscle, into your intracellular muscle. Okay, so basically what it's going to do is going to look bigger. Okay, it's going to make you what people say that you're going to retain water weight. The water weight is in your muscles, and your muscles are bigger. It's not like water weight like on your fat or like on your stomach and make you look bloated. That's like it's very rare. Some people do get some bloating from creatine. It's not very common, but if you do get bloated in creatine, it sometimes could also be a mixture of also your diet mixed with it. So it may not be the creatine itself. You kind of have to play with it a little bit, but creatine monohydrate, it's the cheapest one. It's super inexpensive. Okay, just go get a big bottle of it. Take your 5 grams, which pretty much every single serving of every creatine that you ever get has 5 grams for a single scoop. That's it. Single scoop a day. I do 2 scoops a day. I do 10 grams just because I'm larger than most people. Okay, I am 6'1", 6'2", depending on how crunched up my back is that day. But and I'm about 220 pounds versus your average 5'10", 175 pound. So I'm a little bit bigger than that. Do I need the 10 grams? No, but it's completely safe and it's not going to harm anything. Creatine loading is not a huge thing. You don't have to do it. So you can just take your 5 grams a day, and after 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, if you depending on how effective it is in your system, because everybody is different, every body is different. And really, you don't need to do the creatine loading after a couple of weeks. It's going to go straight into your system anyway. You're going to fully absorb it anyway. So it also helps with the recovery of ATP, which is our main energy system in our bodies. It's basically a molecule that is called adenosine triphosphate, which basically gets used and broken down to be able to use into energy. And creatine basically helps with your supply of that and how fast that recovers. So the recovery in between your sets is really what's going to affect it. It's going to like make you stronger, but if you recover faster in sets, which means you can do more work. If you can do more work, then you get more hypertrophy, bigger muscles, more work done, which makes you stronger in the long run. So yes, it depends on how you want that answer. But yes, creatine, protein, and take a multivitamin. If you can't have a fully balanced diet plan. I like eating the same thing every single day. It makes it super, super easy. And I don't get it. Do get some vegetables in my diet, a little bit of fruit, but I just can't get enough. And I also like am tired a lot. So like, I'm pretty sure I haven't done a blood test or anything, but I'm pretty sure I'm low on B vitamins. I do take a B complex. I have my fish oils. I take Myovite. It's what I take. It has pretty much everything under the sun in it. Okay. It doesn't, I know one thing it doesn't have is iron, but unless you're a female who happens to be iron deficient or you're anemic or something like that, you really, it's whatever. Plus, you get plenty of iron. You can get your iron from red meats if you get enough red meat. But I eat the same thing every single day, and I know I can't have a balanced diet all the time, but it does get my macros in there. So I take a multivitamin every single day. So take your multivitamins, take your protein supplement, and take your creatine, and that's it. That's all you need. Everything else is pretty much BS. If you want like a 1% or less than 1% effect, and you want like extra aminos, or you want, I don't know, name your supplement and take it and it'll do diddly dick, really. It won't do a whole lot. Okay. So um of course, not going into gear and steroids and SARMs, and that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I had those three questions down so far. I just kind of want to do an introductory video again. I want to do this science-based thing, and I am going to make another video right after this one that I am going to basically just have a rundown of all the people that I follow, which are great sources of information. Please follow them as well. If you only get this one video and this never goes anywhere, at least you have that. So yeah, good test run. Let's do this again.